Hello, I'm Grant and welcome to Maker's Vlog, and today I'm doing another or the first unboxing, depending on what way I put the videos around. Essentially I treated myself to a couple of new soldering irons. If you've seen any of my other videos, you might have seen I've been using this thing, which is just not great. First one I got, I've already done a video on there, is this wee gas 3-in-1 soldering iron, which is very useful for taking out and about. The other one I got is this one. Same make, Parkside Soldering Station. It's from a shop called Lidl. If you live in the UK, you'll have heard of it. Lidl or Aldi, both of them I think do the same sort of stuff. And this one was about, I think I actually got this in an offer from them, and it was about 8 beer tokens. So I mean, it was dirt cheap. So I'm not expecting miracles from it. But I thought I'd do a wee quick unboxing and first impressions of it, and we'll see how it holds up. It can hardly be any worse than the plug and play one I was using. So soldering station, as I said, it's 48 watts allegedly, and has a temperature range of approximately 100 to 500 degrees Celsius apparently. I don't have a temperature sensor to test that, but I would hazard it's probably a bit bollocks. Nothing overly interesting on the box, so let's just get in. Not a whole lot in there. Instruction manual, might need that. A soldering iron itself, does that? No, it's all, let's take it out, it's all one unit. Let's see. Ooh, get it a bit more presentable looking. Oh, just cables are going everywhere. There we go. So I'm assuming that this goes in there. Possibly, maybe. It looks like it does. So it's hooking. No, it might just be brute force and ignorance. Oh, there we go. I'll have to check that. Yeah, nothing overly fancy in it. Dial here for temperature, which is 1 through 5. But it says it's Celsius is times 100. So 1 is 100 degrees, 2 is 200, 3 is 300, 4 is 400, 5 is 500, allegedly. I usually use around 300 degrees. Obviously, not on this bloody thing, because you get whatever temperature you get, but on ones that I use in my work, I usually use about 300 odd. Let's see, what's this? A little compartment for some solder and your sponge. That's quite nice. Yeah, and your tips as well. Yeah, that's quite nice. I quite like the wee spool design, although the only downside of that is if you don't get more spools like the same size as this, then you can't really use that. What are these? 1mm and 1.5mm solder. Doesn't tell me anything other than that, so I don't know whether that's got a flux in it or not. Let's see. Big, thick, beefy chisel tip. Looks more like a screwdriver than anything else, but there we are. Nice on-off switch. Let's check out the iron itself. Protective cap, take that off. Standard pointed bit, which I'm going to take off straight away because I'm not a big fan of the pointed tips. For most of my soldering is either joining wires or through-hole components, so I don't really do a lot of surface mount stuff. So a nice big beefy flathead to get that temperature across. Might be the way to go. We shall see. Apart from that, I mean, it's a fairly substantial looking unit. Sponge is a bit on the whiffy side, but that's neither here nor there. and a nice big thick cable. And yeah, I mean, it's all self-sufficient and contained. There's not a whole lot I can say about it, really. Good handle on it. Yeah. Well, the proof of the pudding is in the eating, so let's plug it in and solder a wire, shall we? Okay, so you might have noticed a bit of a camera change there. Apologies, my tripod decided to fall over. One thing I would like to see on this, I've just been waiting for it to get up to temperature here, and an LED of some shape or form that just tells you that it's up to temperature. It's a small thing, and I know for the price of this it's maybe a bit much. The fact that I've got temperature control in any way, shape or form is probably a bonus, but it was just a wee thing that I thought would be nice, that you know it's ready to go. It's been warming up here for a bit, so I'm just going to go ahead and give it a go. Got my nice big beefy spade bit on it, which the more I look at it, I mean, that's big. I'm wondering, is that maybe more for removing solder rather than putting it on? I don't know. But this connection's just been jammed together. It is not a good connection by any stretch. But I just want to see how easily it transferred a bit of heat. One thing that's definitely a bonus over the gas one is, one thing that the gas one has over the electric is just how quickly it gets up to temperature. It's very, very rapid for the gas, whereas this one's still not quite there yet from the looks of this. No. Still not quite up to temperature. And that's been long ago. That's been about 5 minutes or so, 5-10. Still not quite there yet. Yeah. Although, to be fair, also bad joint. It's, I mean, not pre-tinned or anything, so it wasn't exactly the best of scenarios. I'll put that in there. So yeah, it takes a while to get up to temperature. We'll give it another wee while and try it again. Just turn it up there just a wee bit. It's a bit better now. Okay, well, I still think that's not quite it, fully up to temperature. I'll have to give it another go in the future and use it in a bit more detail, but I'm running out of time here, so I'm going to call that good there. Now, I'm going to do a proper review of this and the gas one at a later point. I want to actually get a proper use of all of them and see just see which one has the better features. Maybe do a side by side of the two of them, and just see which one I reach for more often. The base station I think is handy, just because it's, I mean, as far as setup goes, there isn't any. You just turn it on, away you go. The gas one, there might be issues there with having to fill it up every now and again. I don't know how much gas it holds and all that, so I'll maybe filter those off in the meantime. But yeah, that's it for now. I shall see you possibly in the future whenever I do a bit more of an in-depth review of it after I've had a chance to get to grips with it. So yeah, I'll see you later.